Well, well, welcome, welcome to another marvelous episode of the College Football Showdown. I am the governor of college football, and with me, as always, is my co-pilot Jalen Wilson. If y'all can only hear some of the commentary we have before and after the show, I'm telling you, bro, Jalen is a genius. After 229 days without college football, we can officially say it's back, and we had a thriller in Dublin, Ireland, as the Georgia Tech stunned Florida State 21-17, Dublin, Ireland. Jalen, what were your biggest takeaways, man?
Did you get the score wrong? I thought it was 24-17.
It was 24. It was 24. It was 24-21. I have it on the overlay.
Yeah.
I wrote the wrong thing on my notes. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was gonna let you just say I think the score wrong. But I was like,
yeah, it was 24-21.
I like a field goal, 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, takeaways. FSU couldn't stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia Tech can run.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit concerned about DJU and Florida State's passing game, even though it's just one game. It's like it wasn't like a crazy amount of downfield shots. No, it's not like you get a crazy amount of downfield shots every game, but at some point it just seemed like they kind of didn't trust them fully. Now they started going deeper down the field, of course, later in the game, but it's a bit concerning for me.
Right.
Yeah, the run game is concerning. I'm kind of worried about Florida State's receivers. Georgia Tech, they're a good team. I don't know if people slept on them. Some people, I saw somebody I know doesn't watch college football. He just plays video games. So he's like, why is this 90 overall team losing to this 81 overall team? I was like, Georgia Tech's actually good, and he bet money on Florida State too because it's double A. I was laughing.
Wow.
He also bet on the Montana State game, so he lost money on that one too.
He did not know about Montana State, huh? Didn't know about Tommy Touchdown, huh?
Nah. Wow. RJ Maryland cooked in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you were still asleep during that because I remember you said you were getting tired.
Yeah, I was tired. I had worked Friday night, 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. and then I came home, went to sleep. I went to go work out. You said RJ Maryland cooked up though?
Yeah, he was quiet most of the game. Fourth quarter, It felt like he had 200 yards. Like he just couldn't be held. Funny thing, after you left Discord, literally it was a 3rd and 12 in Nevada ran the quarterback power. I was just laughing. I was just like, this is funny.
The best athlete on that team is playing quarterback, bro.
Nevada might be. I don't know if it's just a 1-game thing. Nevada might be straight for their conference for the Mountain West, but SMU looked a little shaky. Preston Stone looked better 3rd and 4th quarter, more so 4th quarter. I still think they're going to try musical chairs at quarterback next game.
I've always hated it. I've hated it when I seen Steve Spurrier do it with Doug Johnson and Jesse Palmer. I hated seeing Ohio State bleed into the regular season.
But don't you have to do it sometime? Like it wasn't like Kevin Jennings came out and played terrible last year. He played good.
Why do you have to do it?
Because he played good.
You have all of spring camp. He played decent. They won some important games with Kevin Jennings. He played decently. But you have all of spring camp. You don't get enough look at spring camp. You don't get enough looks at spring ball. You don't get enough looks at fall camp.
You got on and off days though.
So you gotta see it in live action.
Yeah,
it sounds like Rhett Lashley didn't want to lose either one of those guys to the portal. That's what it sounds like to me. Because while Preston Stone is the now, Kevin Jennings is certainly the future. It just seemed like he didn't want to lose either one of them to the portal. So now, like that look like SMU ball. If that's SMU ball, and when they line up against some of these good teams in the ACC, it's gonna be bad, bro. Like that's not the SMU I expected to see this season. So I don't know. I'm glad they were able to pull together and get a win. At the end of the day, when we looking
that's
at
all
this,
that matters.
What I'm saying, they was able to get the win.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I don't know though. I remember people was like, "Yo, Justin Fields should start over Jake Fromm." No, Jake Fromm led them to a national title. You start Jake Fromm the next season.
Right.
I remember Jalen Hurts made a comeback against Georgia in that same season where Justin Fields was a freshman, and everybody was like, "Should Jalen Hurts have been starting this whole season?" Blah blah blah. I'm like, Tua led them to this SEC championship game.
Right.
Like, Tua led them here.
Recency bias is always real.
Yeah, but it's like situations like it looked like Kevin James played bad when he got in. Like you said, he played decent, and it's just a thing to where it's like
he did play better on Saturday. I mean, it is what it is. Now I don't know what we classify as better because neither one of them amazed me.
Yeah, neither one. Yeah, neither one amazed me.
Yeah, by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't know. Continue, bro.
I think that's really about it for this. Like, I didn't. I watched Moon's vlog of the MEAC and the SWAC game.
He did a phenomenal job. Job. That's the type of sports television. It's part of the reason why I got into this. Like in college, my concentration was media production. I did news packages, and sports has always been my first love. So it's just putting the two together. But seeing what he was able to do, and it's a lot of what you were able to do on Just Jalen. Like I was thoroughly impressed. And he got an article out. Did both of those things within a 24-hour time period.
Yeah, so, I don't know if there's any other games. I don't know if Hawaii won or not. Me, Steve, and Brad, we was on our online dynasty.
Okay.
And
Brad in your online dynasty?
Yeah. And
you guys to watch that man. That man probably be playing them games 2-3 times. You guys to watch. I always go look at the schedule, see how many times people play games, bro.
Okay, Kizzy, I'm gonna tell you, I messed up because I ain't never finished the season. I got close. I got was like 4 games into the season. Right. I got like 14 players on my roster because we did a team builder. I got 14 players. All my players were seniors. I got like 14. We talk about best athlete. Best athlete gonna be out there.
They play offense and defense, Cuddle. Hey, that's wild. But back to the Georgia Tech game. I want to bring it back full circle. I believe that DJ is being overly criticized.
He is. I saw some Florida State comments
because you gotta think about it. One, fanatic in the NFL, I think is different between a fanatic and college football. I think so because think about the regular season of college football, how small of a window you have in college football. Florida State just went undefeated last year versus the NFL. You can lose 6, 7, hell, even 8 games and still make the playoff.
Yeah.
But like Ryan Day has done a phenomenal job at Columbus, but the last 3 years he's lost to that team in Ann Arbor, and Fire Ryan Day has trended, on social media 3 back-to-back years. You know what I'm saying?
I did see some fans on Facebook, FSU, and some FSU groups talk about DJU isn't this, DJU isn't that, DJ. Somebody were like, he's not accurate. He's not smart.
I saw that.
He's overweight. I saw that.
I'm like, I saw that on a YouTube joint, and I sit back and I look at it, and I'm like, okay, there's levels to game watching. Yeah. There's that, like, you put me in the same room with somebody who does like C2C or Devi, they will sit there and spit players all day. They can just now, I like this guy. I like this guy. I think he's going to, average around this many points a game. That's not a conversation I can have. But if you want to sit here and talk to me about schemes and talk to me about looks and talk to me about opportunities, you want to talk to me about X's and O's, I'll sit there and I talk X's and O's with you all day. He was, what was DJU? 19 or 27?
I think so.
Dude, can we admit that their offensive coordinator wasn't there, ladies and gentlemen? This is something that we mentioned. Alex Atkins, who's their natural play caller, was not there. He's on a 3-game suspension. So guess who was calling plays? Mike Norvell. Jalen, when's the last time you seen Mike Norvell calling plays?
I don't know. I mean, he was the head coach of Memphis for a minute.
Yeah. But he don't get me wrong. He's naturally a play caller, but he's had Alex Atkins the last few seasons, and before that, he had Kenny Dillon. When's the last time he had to effing call plays?
Well, what was it like a decade ago where he was like
Yo, it's been a minute ago. So he's calling plays, but he's also the head coach. Head coaches who are play callers, dude, how many shots was he taking? Did we see post wheel concepts? Did we see a lot of verticals? I'm not saying that DJU played perfectly. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. There's certainly opportunity, but what was the running game doing? No. They're supposed to be big bad Florida State, and they couldn't get a push.
I wasn't shocked.
Yeah, but they big bad Florida State. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. One thing I hate about week 0 and week 1. Can I speak candidly? What I hate about week 0 and week 1
is it the fact that's like
NFL not on? So it's all these people who don't even watch college football talking college football, bro. Like bunch of people who like NFL fantasy, bunch of people like I hate Twitter week 0 and week 1, bro. I hate it. I stay off of it. Because I don't want to see none of y'all takes because y'all don't truly care about the sport. Y'all gonna be talking about this week 7, week 8, or week 9. No. I don't care about y'all takes, bro. Y'all talk about it week 0, week 1, and then when it's time for draft, when it's the draft season. That's the only time they talk about this sport. And maybe the playoff, and then some of them will comment on, oh, college football is so bad during the bowl season. That's what you get, bro. Like
so many bowl games.
It's
like a lot of bowl games.
It's like Buddy you was just talking about, right? You know what I'm saying? Like he's just looking at college football 25. Well, this team's better than this team, so I'm gonna bet my money on that team.
Yeah,
if it was that easy, brother, we all be rich. You know what I'm saying? Like we will all be rich. So, but I think we all want to criticize DJU. There were some games last year that Florida State started terrible. Like. Yeah, everybody want to talk about ADOT. I think ADOT is the most over thought about stat in the history of stats. You know why? Average depth of throw. I think it's the most overrated analytical stat ever created. You know why? Bill Walsh, Joe Montana, Steve Young, they won Super Bowls. And I guarantee if you look at that average depth of throw, it wasn't a lot. They had wide receivers that can run short routes, get open, and take them long. I think it's the most overloaded stat, bro.
We are in the new age of football to where,
and I'm an analytical guy.
We are in the new age of football to where the field is more open. Offensive players, it is an offensive player game.
It is for sure.
And we see a lot more throws than what we used to see, like back in the Steve Young and Joe Montana and Bill Walsh days.
Why we always got to take all right, so you remember when Colorado started the season off hot last year, right?
Yeah.
I started to say, oh, wow, they look better than I anticipated them on. Oh, well, maybe TCU's not that good. Oh, Nebraska's a dumpster fire. It's like we don't give credit. The credit is due to Brent Key, who hasn't lost a ranked game against an ACC opponent since he's been there. Like, people don't remember how tumultuous this program was when he took over, had the interim tag. He earned that job last year, was able to get them to the bowl.
And he had a bunch of players that really didn't fit his style.
Bro. And he's an offensive lineman, and he played there. What he said in the post-game conference, run the ball. Like that's what he said, like he truly believed that. Georgia Tech played a perfect game. Haynes King, 11 for 16, 146 at 74 yards rushing, 75 yards rushing, 2 TDs. Jamal Haynes really popped. He didn't get a lot of carries, but he really popped. Time of possession was even. Neither team turned the ball over. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a really good game. It was a really good game. It's on week 0. Like I'm telling you, Florida State will figure it out. And oh, by the way, I still have them in my playoff.
Will they?
I think they will.
Will they?
I think they will.
I think they will. I think this DJU short throws thing will be a thing all season.
What if Boston College ain't get 16 or 17 damn penalties last year against Florida State? We'd have been saying the same thing last year because Jordan Travis didn't look good that game at all. Yeah. We'd have been saying the same damn thing last year if BC didn't beat themselves, right? Because I was watching that game like, yo, what is going on? And there was a couple of games. It
was like week 3. I think
it was like week 3. It was the same week that Illinois played Penn State.
Yeah, I was at that game. Yeah, so it was like week 3, week 4.
Yeah, it was like week 3, week 4. And they played terribly. It's just that BC had a whole bunch of penalties last year. We were talking about it on Saturday. There were some games that Florida State just started slow. They didn't look as explosive as I expected them. If you remember for last season, I pegged Jordan Travis as my guy who won the Heisman last year. And they just did not look as explosive. But I hope they figure it out. I mean, if they don't, then I don't know.
I think the short throws with DJ will be a thing all season, honestly. And it's not going to be all DJ fault. I feel like someone's
So
going to play.
what was DJ's biggest problem at Oregon State and Clemson? His completion percentage, and sometimes his
honestly, I
decision
feel like
making.
decision making.
It was
Honestly, I feel like
decision making and
sometimes his
completion
pocket
percentage.
presence
For
is
sure.
there. Sometimes it's not.
For sure, he doesn't look as explosive as he looked at Clemson. That was something I did notice. On Saturday. So as a coach, if you see somebody that does have a specific skill set, you want to get the completion percentage up, which he completed sub 70% of his passes. You want to get the turnovers down. He didn't throw any interceptions. Did he take a couple of bad sacks? Absolutely. Did they test Georgia Tech secondary? They didn't. Who's that onus on? We can say 60-40 DJU and 40 Mike Norvell, or if we want to say, add the wide receivers into that equation as well. It's not all on him. It's like I do a show at 8:15, and a lot of people who in here know about it. It's called Overreaction Monday. We're overreacting. You know what I'm saying? To this DJU situation, in my opinion. Anything else you want to say about this before we move on to some previews?
I don't think so. It felt good had college football back, although it's kind of boring after that further. Well, the Nevada game was cool, but it was like it kind of got boring watching hype, power, hype, draw this way, hype, run this way.
Hey, bro, like they have no belief in it, and they quarterback. They running the spread army offense, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, although it was kind of boring.
They put up a good fight. I did like that secondary, man. They were
so the secondary was on it.
They was playing aggressive, man. And you don't really see a lot of teams play.
And the rest was like letting them be a little physical. Like,
They were. Somebody got smacked on the field. That game was a little unchy, at least what I'm saying of it. So let's move on to our first preview. Alrighty. Week 1 kicks off Thursday, and we have Western Carolina versus NC State and Raleigh. Dave Dorian has done a great job building this NC State program, finishing 9-4 last season and added pivotal pieces via the portal and securing a 24th ranking in the AP poll. Jalen, talk to me about your overall thoughts on NC State this season, and who are the players to watch for this matchup for the Wolfpack?
I think NC State's a good team. I feel like they're going to be a bowl team convincingly this year. Like they can get that 8 win mark. Like I don't know if I'm more confident in this team as much as I was that 2020. I think it was one team. But this is probably the second most confident.
Second most confident
in the NC State team this season.
Okay.
And
you're not more confident. You're not more confident this year, because I feel like the gap in the ACC is kind of closed. I feel like there's some tier 2 teams, maybe even tier 3 teams in the conference with some opportunities that can push for the conference. Honestly,
yeah, I can feel that. But it's also I don't know how good some other teams is going to be that faces them. It's like let me look at their schedule real quick. I did not really check that out, but it's because they didn't make it that year that they in 2021. They didn't.
You're talking about the year that they beat Clemson, right?
Yeah. Like they play of course Western Carolina. They play Tennessee, then La Tech, then Clemson, Northern Illinois, Wake Forest, Syracuse, Cal, Stanford. Actually, they have kind of an easy schedule. Stanford, Duke, and Georgia Tech, and then UNC. More look at actually. I think they beat Cal. I think they beat Wake Forest. I think they beat Northern Illinois. La Tech. I think some of the decision making, like the 50-50 games could be a Clemson game, the Georgia Tech game, and
is that Clemson game in Raleigh?
Yes. No. It's in Death Valley.
Okay.
Death Valley. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too sure how I feel about the Duke game. That the last 3 games for them, UNC, Georgia Tech, and Duke, could be like maybe they win. I got them winning at least against Duke and UNC, but it's like I can see a world where they might lose.
Right.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I do feel more confident about this team the more I look at their schedule.
Yeah.
That Tennessee game will tell you something about this team.
It'll certainly be a great measuring stick, a game. And who are some of the players to watch for the Wolfpack?
The Wolfpack, some players: Grayson McCall, quarterback, Coastal Carolina. You got Devin Boykin, DB. You got David Van, defensive lineman, and then you got Casey Conception, your guy at wide receiver.
Yeah, he's a beast. I'm interested to see how they will use him. He kind of burst onto the scene last year, but I would imagine he'll be a focal point for a lot of defenses this year. So I'm wondering how does that translate. Honestly, if you look at NC State, last year was just abysmal quarterback play. Honestly, I was hoping Brendan Armstrong.
I thought Brendan Armstrong was getting better, and then he came out.
Yeah, him and Robert and I, some of the success that they had in Charlottesville at UVA, that didn't translate. MJ Morris didn't translate. Honestly, sidebar: have you heard who's going to win this Maryland quarterback competition?
No.
Is it Billy Edwards or okay? I haven't heard anything either. I was just wondering, but I think Grayson McCall gives them somebody, one, with the dual threat ability, two, somebody who has historically protected the ball. So I'm interested to see how good they'll be this year. I feel like this team is on the cusp of a 10-2 season. I feel strongly about that, and that's to certainly have them in the thick of things as far as playing in the ACC championship. But is this another year where they could just end up 8-4 or 7-5? Like, damn, NC State, when are you going to make the jump?
Yeah.
So Western Carolina has put back-to-back winning campaigns in the FCS ranks, finished 6-5 in 2022 and 7-4 in 2023. Western Carolina is ranked 20th in the FCS top 25. Jalen, talk to me about some of the key players of this matchup for Western Carolina.
So Western Carolina, I want to say they're returning like their whole defensive line.
Wow, that's impressive.
They're returning like their whole defensive line. That's why I'm like, if the defensive line is able to perform well in this game, they can maybe make it something. Maybe.
Right.
Yeah, just some names on defensive line. You got Hayward McQueen Jr., who had 26 tackles last season, 5 tackles for loss. Jaquarius Gwynn, 30 starts. Then you had Caleb Fisher, who started 11 games last year, they said, and had 18 tackles and 2.5 tackles for loss. Of course, you got Jordan Daniels, the transfer from Akron. You also have Jefferson. I don't know how to say his last name, but he's from North Carolina. It's some players like Tyquez Royal, Brett Gray. They added another defensive lineman from Eastern Michigan, which will be interesting to see. Because like I said, that defensive line is already like returning, so to add more depth to it is always good.
I have a theory, Jalen. If I'm going to schedule an FCS team, I'm going to schedule a weak FCS team, kind of how Missouri has scheduled Murray State, who's like they were bottom of the bottom almost in the
last season, I think,
conference last year. But that Missouri Valley Conference is one of the best conferences in all of the FCS. How do you feel about teams like Colorado are scheduling? Who are they playing? South Dakota State?
North Dakota State.
North Dakota State. Like there's another FCS team that's playing South Dakota State. Like if I would rather schedule a lower tier group of 5 school before I schedule one of these FCS schools, because the last thing you want is a dogfight with one of these FCS schools.
Yeah.
Like, what's your take on that? What's your thoughts about that?
It all depends. If I'm in Colorado, I do not want to play North Dakota State. Give me Murray State.
Right.
Give me them. Give me Villanova. Like, give me a weak FCS team.
Right.
If I'm Oregon, give me.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
You just line it up. I like that because Western Carolina isn't a juggernaut by any stretch of the imagination, but they are returning a lot of production. Like you said, they're in the top 25 of the FCS top 25. So NC State should handle the game.
Who's the FCS team Florida State played last year? Remember that was the Jordan Travis injury game. They got hurt. Or not Jordan Travis got hurt, but remember they was up at one point against
Yeah,
Florida State.
they were. I cannot think of the game. I need to look at the schedule and figure that out. So Western Carolina are 41.5 dogs. Jalen, what are your predictions for this game?
Well, NC State by a lot.
41.5 though. You taking NC State on that spread?
I'm taking I'll take under.
Yeah, I'm taking Western Carolina on the spread. NC State will win the game, but 41.5 is bonkers.
Yeah, I feel like 41.5 is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they might cover. I mean, I thought SMU will cover against Nevada this week. that didn't happen. Yeah, they barely won. And I think that spread was like 27. It was something ridiculous. All righty, so let's move right along. The 22nd ranked Kansas Jayhawks host Lindenwood on Thursday night in Lawrence, and the Jayhawks are another team with high expectations this season. Jalen, I know you have Oklahoma State winning the Big 12 this season, but does Kansas have a legitimate chance?
They have a legitimate chance, but Jalen Daniels has to stay healthy.
He's got to stay healthy. So they got one of the best cornerback tandems in the nation with Melo Dotson and Kobe Bryant, a dynamic quarterback in Jalen Dotson, a game-breaking running back in Devin Neal, and one of the best coaches in the conference in Lance Leopold. So you said they have a chance, but only if Jalen Daniels stays healthy.
Yeah.
And a percentage out of 100, how would Jalen Daniels play if you were a better man? Will he play over 10 games this season?
Over 10 games.
Over 10 games. Yeah. I hope so, because I think he's a phenomenal talent. When healthy.
Did he play 10 games last year? I don't think he played.
I don't think he's played 10 games in his career.
I would say he plays 10 games on a die. He doesn't play over though.
He doesn't play over 10 games, so you think it's at 10 games?
Yeah.
That's
just 9 or 10.
So talk to me about this Kansas team. What do you like about them?
I think I like their secondary. Like Melo Dotson, Kobe Bryant. Like I love the fact that you got two corners that are some of the better corners in your conference.
Legitimate, right?
Like that just means you can trust them in any coverage. Like that means like no matter who the other team's best receiver is, you got like they can potentially shut them down.
Right.
Hey, Dotson not working out. Okay, let's put Brian on. Vice versa. That's probably my favorite part, but it's also the dynamic between like Jalen Daniels and Devin Neal. What both they can do on the ground. And I mean it's Lance Leopold. Like Lance Leopold is an awesome coach, great coach. If he has another really good season in Kansas, I can really see him getting a bigger job. I mean, unless he want to be like a Brent Key, where it's like it doesn't seem like he's leaving. He's trying to build something at Georgia Tech.
He's going to the soil. Yeah, I don't think Brent Key is, unless the money is there. I don't think he's going anywhere just because he's lower to Georgia Tech. So Lindenwood had a pendulum swing in 2022, going 7-3, and then in 2023 they went 3-7. What are your expectations of Lindenwood this season?
Say those two records again.
2022 7-3, 2023 3-7. So it was opposites.
2023, 3-7. They could be good. They got like Jeff Caldwell, wide receiver. They got Robert GMO at running back, Ethan Johnson defensive line, Kobe McClendon Ethan Johnson at offensive line, and Kobe McClendon at defensive line. They also got like a very good linebacker. His name is Ethan. I just don't know how to say his last name. They could be good if not mistaken. How long have they been in FCS?
It's interesting that you asked that. I was looking at that. Is it 2016 or 2013 that they've been in the FCS?
Might be 2013.
Yeah, 2013, because I was looking for that because I was struggling to find like historical records for them. I had to search a couple different ways in order to find it, but it's one of those years. I'm quite certain.
Yeah. I think this team could be good. I read up on this team.
What's happening, bro?
It has some returning players.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know their schedule like the back of my hand.
Mm-hmm.
But they have some returning players. They have some good players, but I can see them honestly like not doing crazy good. Um, maybe winning 6 games. I'm not too sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So you think you think they can win 6 games this year?
yeah,
Okay. Okay. That'd be interesting because I think at FCS you play what 11 regular season plus conference championship, and then
hmm
they have the mega playoffs.
yeah,
Kansas is 44.5 favorite. We know they'll win, but will they cover the spread?
yeah.
I want to say they cover the spread. I honestly want to know how long we'll see Jalen Daniels. Like, will they unleash him? Will it be like, alrighty, we're up 28. You can come chill now. Like, I wonder will we see that. So, but you think they will cover the spread?
Yeah. Also, my fault. I was throwing off as a bug
Nah, you,
on the
hey,
ground.
yeah, hey, you good, bro.
So, but I freaking killing with my mic.
And that's crazy. All right, so Jalen got Kansas State winning by 44.5.
Kansas.
I'm sorry, Kansas won. I got Kansas State on the mind. I think Kansas State gonna win a Big 12. Uh, got Kansas winning by 44.5. All right, let's move on to this next game that we're going to talk about. We're talking about all Thursday night games today. On Thursday's episode, we'll talk about some Friday games, and then we'll also talk about some weekend games as well. Murray State travels to Columbia to take on Missouri Tigers, a team with playoff hopes this upcoming season. Jalen, talk to me about the overall expectations for Missouri and who are the players to watch, and also will this team win the SEC?
I mean, you kind of named the expectation. Like it's like SEC contender.
Mm-hmm.
It's playoff contender.
Right.
Those are like the bigger expectations by most people.
Mm-hmm.
My expectations are the same thing. Like playoff contender, not automatic playoff bid, but playoff contender.
Were they in your playoff? The 12 team one
No.
you did? I don't believe so. Okay.
There's some key players for Mizzou.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Luther Burton, Brady Cook, Blake Craig, and Brett Norfleet. But Blake Craig is definitely, he might be the X factor.
Mm-hmm.
They lose the kicker from last year. Now he said he has to step up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how good he is. I really don't. Redshirt freshman. SEC, Mizzou, he might have some close games. Going to be a lot of pressure on his shoulders in the game. So, but yeah, those are some key players. Norfleet is the tight end, by the way. But yeah, Blake Craig, the kicker, definitely a name to watch out for.
He's a beast on the game too. Murray State finished 2-9 in 2023 with a 1-7 record in the Missouri Valley, arguably the best conference in the FCS. Do the Racers have a chance in this game?
I mean, technically, everybody has a chance. I got a chance to be LeBron James. He might be 0.01, but I have a chance. Like, yes,
no,
but
they don't.
Will they win? No,
they don't. They do not have a chance at all.
Yeah. I mean, I know they have guys like Jim Ogle, DeKylan Carter, Amari Wainsley, Shavaric Williams, and Vincent Dickens, but they gonna have to everything needs to go right for them, and everything needs to go wrong for Mizzou. Even if that happens, I don't know if they can still win.
Hey man, Mizzou might be on 80 watch. They might be on 80 watch this Thursday. They could very well put up 80.
Question: do you think we ever see a team score 100 points in our lifetime?
No, I think one team did it, and they beat somebody 222-0. It was Georgia Tech. I don't know what year it was. They beat Cumberland 222-0.
Was that KTO video that you saw that on?
I know.
Okay.
You remember Moon's OG for Georgia Tech? Because I was talking football with us a lot. The older cat.
Yes.
Yeah, so he was telling us about that at ACC Media Days last year. He was telling us about that. So that,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. So shout out to OG. So no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think if it would have happened, it would have happened.
See,
Like,
some coaches better than me. I
yeah,
would have like some coaches be like,
you
oh
you
yeah,
go.
we're finna kneel, we're finna run for the rest of the
Mm.
game.
Nah, I
Hey, I
tell
want to
you
see
who wouldn't. All bowl coach Steve Spurrier. I'm surprised he ain't do it, man. One of the UF teams back in the day. Buddy was built different, man. Dang, I wish I would have added a couple more games on here. I think we'll go through this quickly, man.
Yeah.
You got any would you rather's before we get out of here?
Sure. Sure. Would you rather be a Hall of Famer in football or a Hall of Famer in basketball?
Hall of Famer in football or
Or
Hall of
not Hall of Famer. Let's say, would you rather just be casually good at football or casually good at basketball?
You said casually good at football or
Yeah.
casually good at basketball? I would rather be casually good at basketball.
Okay. Is that because you can just go up and
You
play?
you can go hoop, you can go hoop in a regular league, you can go pick up. It's easier versus football. You don't want to be casual on that. Get your head knocked off. I ain't trying to do that.
Oh, who's this? Okay. Would you rather have Pat White or no? I feel like that's a lopsided question because you're gonna choose Pat White. You gonna choose Pat White.
Pat
Most
White over a lot
definitely.
of people. Yes.
Yeah. You're gonna choose Pat White over a
Yeah.
lot of people. Okay. Might not be good, but Denard Robinson or JJ McCarthy?
You
Denard
said
Robinson versus Pat White was the original one, but I was like,
okay. You said Denard Robinson versus JJ McCarthy.
you know what? Denard Robinson versus Braxton Miller. That's a
Denard Robinson versus Braxton Miller is a really good one. They both were electrifying. Part of me wish Braxton Miller played in this era, but I'm gonna go with Shoelace.
okay. Troy Smith or Jamarcus Russell?
College.
Yes, college.
Jamarcus Jamarcus. I'm gonna say Jamarcus Russell.
Mm,
Cause I thought he was a problem in college. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he was gonna be good in the NFL.
okay. Wait. So you don't think Troy Smith is gonna be good in the NFL? Really? That's
Mm-mm.
shocking.
No,
Like, yeah,
you
I
gotta
remember.
you gotta look you gotta look at the time period, man. I knew Jamarcus Russell was gonna be good. I couldn't. I don't think I've been more wrong on a player
Okay.
ever in life.
Would you go with if you had a choice between Tyrann Matthew college career, knowing what Tyrann Matthew became in college, or would you go with the potential of Caleb Downs?
Caleb Downs, because if I'm not mistaken, Tyrann got suspended.
He did. He got
He
kicked
got
off the team.
suspended. Yeah. So I will go with the potential of Caleb Downs.
Okay.
Even though Tyrann was a dog, he was a
Do I,
dog, but he got suspended.
do I have one more I could just come up with?
Yeah. One more on the fly.
One more. Would you rather have Steve Spurrier or Urban Meyer?
As what?
Head coach. College head coach.
College head coach?
Yeah, college head coach.
Urban Meyer.
Okay.
I've seen him do it with more programs. I've seen him do it
Okay.
at Utah. I've seen him do it at Florida. I've seen him do it at Ohio State. I've seen the old ball coach do it at Florida. Kinda. A little bit in Columbia, South Carolina, but yeah, that definitely Urban Meyer.
Okay.
I'm not the biggest fan of the guy, but he's a hell of a coach.
You know what? Ferentz or Bielema?
Cuz on the builder, what's happening, bro? You said Ferentz or Bielema?
Or yeah.
That's hard. That's difficult. That's really difficult. Give me they both have had success, but give me Kirk Ferentz.
Okay. I think I gotta go. And I think you're gonna enjoy this. This is one I actually put out my back pocket that I forgot I wrote down in the past that I've never asked. Jim, if you had all-stars on defense, would you rather have Jim Leonard or what's Oklahoma's head coach name? Why is his name not
Brent Venables?
Yeah, Brent Venables as your defensive coordinator.
You said I got all-stars.
Yeah.
If I don't have all-stars, I'm going Jim Leonard. With all-stars, I'm taking Brent Venables. Who would you go?
I think I'm taking Jim Leonard.
You taking Jim Leonard?
Yeah.
Either way?
Yeah.
Wow. That's wild, man. Jalen, go ahead, take us home, bro.
Yeah. I don't think nothing has happened in the news in the past couple of days for real. Jake said we will win game 2. That's about it. Him and Benny Butcher did drop a song, then they deleted it.
Who?
It was a good song. Drake and Benny the Butcher. They dropped a song a couple days ago and then they deleted it.
Why did they delete it?
I guess it didn't get past the copyright.
Was it cold?
Yeah, it was good. It's the snippets on YouTube. It's called Buffalo Freestyle.
Buffalo Freestyle. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out. Two artists I like a lot. Fun fact, unpopular opinion. I still think Drake won. Unpopular opinion. But I do listen. I listen to bars a little bit differently. So.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I don't think it's anything else. I mean, I keep getting these dang copyright claims on my video. I had to take another part out of my video again.
That's because you're getting big, bro. So people hating, man.
Yeah, I did.
What's been going on in pop culture, man? I ain't been paying attention to nothing, man.
Really not too
I live in a bubble that my job, college football, bro. That's it. That's
really not too much. Like I know some commotions going on Twitter with some stuff. Yeah. Not really too much though. Not really too much in recently. That Noah Lyles whole track the Tyreek Hill thing happened. You know, I don't know Tyreek Hill.
That dude's a joke, bro. Like you give people like the space to be ignorant, that they're gonna be ignorant. Shout out to everybody that's been watching. I want to say this might be a record for us. We held steadfast. A lot of people in here. It's just truly amazing to see. Episode 65, Jalen, man, it's been fun. As I always.
65.
Who's number 65?
Yeah. What player was number 65?
Oh God damn it! You making me think.
That's like offensive lineman, huh?
Yeah, somebody offensive lineman.
Thomas, you know what? You were 65 today. I don't know what you were originally.
I think he was 72. Why I know that, I don't know. As I always like to say, there are no more victories in the sport that survive for the fans. That's why college football has the greatest regular season. And until next time, y'all already know what it is. Take care. God damn. And we will see y'all at 8:15 for Overreaction Monday.